and the mentality of certain types of parts, like say like a carnivore mentality or herbivore mentality. Herbivores, they're not really going out to mess with nobody. They really just herd type people. You got those type of people that they family. They don't mess with nobody. They hang together. They protect each other, and then they like the big elephants gather around while the little elephants in the middle eating, right? And then they say, "Oh, you gotta stay right here," but it's always that one elephant, mid-age elephant, that goes off outside of the pack. He trying to bite off a tree, and then somebody bite off his ass. So some lion or somebody bite a piece off his ass. Could you get in on that?
There's not too many things that's going to attack a full-grown elephant.
Right?
It does not. Now, if he's sickly and he's falling over about to die, they might help him die because he already about to die. But ain't too many animals going to take down no full-grown elephant. It's just not going to happen. Now, with that being said, you're talking about pack animals. I did a whole study for about 3 years on pack behavior and animals in the pack. It doesn't matter if it's a carnivore or a herbivore pack animal. The male is going to destroy something about the pack. The alpha male wolf, the alpha male bison, the alpha male gorilla, the alpha male lion, right? We got them all in there.
Yeah.
Right? They gonna defend the herd to the death. The male elephant doesn't roam with the pack because it's female matriarchal run. The males go out and they call stag. But there's this strange phenomenon that they discovered that every time the pack was the elephant herd was under attack, there's a certain call that the matriarch give off, and the big males come running from out of nowhere. You didn't even know they was in close enough proximity to hear them. But it's a subterranean ultrasonic sound and a stomp that the matriarch do to call the male elephants. So, the males roll, whether they herbivores in the form of elephant, bison, or regular cows. Right? The bull run his herd, and if another bull come in there on the new, a full-grown virile bull, you can have a bullfight.
Yeah.
Somebody got to prove that this they herd. We can't be two of us. In the end, we like Highlanders. It can be only one. Right? It's the same with the gorillas. Herbivores. But the male will snatch your head off about his clan. Literally. They found remains of leopards that had been ripped in half by gorillas.
Yeah.
Right? As well as lions and baboons. Now, worse than the gorilla is the chimpanzee. He's an omnivore because he eat monkeys. But he eat leaves and herbs too. Right? And fruit, vegetables, whatever you can find. But he also eat a monkey. And then when they found the billy ape, that's a chimpanzee almost big as a gorilla. Then that brings the rise of the planet apes into a whole other perspective when you're looking at Caesar. Right? So they be telling you all these different things, these formulas. Genetic hierarchy, genetic development, genetic tampering. Remember, Monica already told us these was humans pretending to be God in the laboratory creating defects in humans.
Right.
Can't tell it no straighter than that. Right? But the behavior of the pack animal is the same. Right? That's what my father used to always say, I pay the cost to be the boss. You can't come tell me until you can pay the cost to be the boss.
Right.
Otherwise, my rules fly. When you can pay the cost to be the boss, you get your own shit, and then you make the rules, and that's what fly in your castle. Right? So once you can pay the cost to be the boss, then you just gotta know your reward is coming.
Right. Hey, we'll take a couple questions from the crowd, y'all. Hey, drop your questions in the chat if you got any questions for Chief. Hey, y'all, we got I was trying to hit 12,000 people. Let's see where we at now, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We at 7,000. We hit 10,000 last time. This is Rod won't talk about. This is Voodoo. Somebody want to holler at your name, Voodoo, I think she's saying.
I don't know who that is or how to hit them up. So I don't know what to say about that.
Stone, petrified stone, the type of weapons that transfer them into petrified stone.
It's not a whole lot of people that ask that particular question, but it's like a ray gun.
Yeah.
And what it actually do to turn you into petrified stone is it crystallizes your carbon base. And then what look like petrified is just hardened cellular structure.
Right.
Right. And the frequency that you hit with determines how hard the cellular level will harden. But the external appearance look like the appearance of stone, of being turned to stone, like the story of Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. That's talking about the petrified forest. I think it's in Arizona.
Yeah, when they bust the stone off one of these giants, you can still see the veins and blood inside of it.
We're crystallized. Yeah, that was good. Every time we get a major reset, see, this is just an upgrade. This is not a real reset. When this type of reality runs its course and is no longer entertaining to the gods, then, like the dinosaurs, wipe the slate clean and start all over.
Right.
We ain't going nowhere. We eternal beings. So we wipe it all off, start all over with a whole new description of what reality is. Right. So what are your thoughts on people being cremated? My dad was, and it was shocking and unexpected to me. I was upset at first. Cremation is anything that happened post-mortem is a family decision that the family make. It don't got nothing to do with nobody outside that. It's a family decision the family make, whether it's the person that's passing that make the decision or whether they have a family meeting, because cremation is an ancient burial rite. In the ancient burial tradition, the same as mummification, and the same as burying people in graves, except you're not supposed to bury people 6 feet in boxes. You're supposed to leave them in the open earth 3 feet. That's so that the earth can consume and recycle their energy back into the earth.
As plants.
We know about the rise of divine matriarch, but this divine big papa energy rising as well, you feel too. Look, it can't be. Big Mama always raises the son up as the prime child, male child. That's why you got Queen Mother Seal. Big Mama and Mama have to sign off on the son. Mama can't just say, my son gonna be the king. She first got to take him to the high priestess, Big Mama. Big Mama then got to anoint him, or what they call christen him, or turn him into Christ. Right? Once Big Mama turn him into Christ, then Mama's duties begin to mold him into the king. right? Based on the character of the one Mama picked, and Big Mama said he was the right one, he should be receptive to the natural struggles of life, molding him into the product that he need to be to perform his life's mission. There is nobody at the top that doesn't have a function.
Right. North Dakota and South Dakota, the Lakota people. That's the Lakota people.
Yeah, all that was part of Indian territory. We talking about the western side of the Mississippi, north of like the 45th parallel, Indian country. It's a lot of active history or interesting history about North Dakota and battles that the tribes had down to buffalo hunts. Right. And the farmers that came from Norway, now, if you remember, you have Dutch milk farms and all that stuff. This is what they're talking about. The farmers that was given farms as part of that Ellis Island migration.
The Amish.
Right. Some of them became Amish, some of them became Quakers.
Yeah.
Right. And some of them just became farmers and participated in the general system. But they normally settled in small towns to themselves because they was trying to follow the tribal tradition. When you come to the land, you're welcome to make a settlement under your own vine and fig tree. Noble Drew Ali taught it. Yeah. What that means is you come in and you live your lifestyle and don't force your lifestyle on other people. That's what the Amish and the Quakers was doing. The Quakers became corrupted by the Crown of England using all of their discoveries about helping people overcome difficulties, creating basically the structure to create prison. Stolen from the internal workings of the Quakers in Pennsylvania.
They own most of the prison today.
Now, when you see the dress style of Dorothy in the original Wizard of Oz, that's a Norwegian. That's Swiss, Norway, Sweden, up in that part of Europe. They were being ran out in order for the Inquisition, the Inquisitors, when they were trying to hide, they was running those people off their land. Mm-hmm. Right? And a lot of them decided to come over here and have settlements, and because of what was going on when they came, they farm settlements was given to them in the Oklahoma Territory. It was what it was called back then. We call them the Great Plains states.
Yeah. And it's a lot of gold up there too, because that's what.
Look, this don't make it. Doesn't even. Anybody want to ask me about a DNA test? I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing. Anything that's said for entertainment purposes only, I do not take it seriously. If it's for entertainment purposes only, that means that whoever is entertaining you, they is in control of the narrative, and they appoint what they want to be where they want it at on the DNA chain. They can adjust it in order to suit the narrative they telling and be within the confines of legal standards.
That makes sense.
Then here Louis Gates out there told you they was making it up as they go. Then the other dude from the other place said that they was testing like something like 0.01% of all the DNA in your body to determine who your ancestry was. All that stuff is retarded.
And that dude said that, he said they came, that one dude, they was doing it from Harvard. They were from Harvard. The same guys that's telling us about the 12-mile mother shit. The guys that said, we really just were making stuff up to make some money. And the guy came out and said it. The main guy that started the DNA thing said that.
Yeah, 21 and me, Henry Louis Gates, when he was talking about Oprah declaring herself Zulu.
Yeah.
And he said, can't nobody take no piece of spit and tell you who your tribe is on the other side of the world. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said, well, I just told her just, I didn't think she was going to run with it. I didn't think she was going to run with it. That's crazy.
So that's why burial is 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
That's called the devil's standard. The DIVIL standard is also the DOUBLE standard. When you're supposed to be buried 3 feet deep is because the earth being uses your corpse. 6 feet deep, you are beyond the reach of the roots of the majority of the vegetation around you.
That's right.
Which makes you beyond the flora and fauna of the land. We one with the land. So the double standard was originally created to prevent slave robbers from stealing the bodies. Because it would take them too long to dig the hole, to dig a body back up. But it didn't work because they still was robbing graves to this day.
Yeah. Tomb Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Call them Tomb Raiders. We was talking about that last time where I was saying that my ancestors must have been some powerful dudes. If they wrote down some shit on a tomb and said, whoever disturbs this tomb, his ass crack gonna explode. His eyeballs gonna pop out. There, exactly. Yeah. To the fucking T, everything they said, it happened to the guy that went in there.
Yeah. So the 6 feet is the number of man.
Okay.
The Masonic number for man.
Mm-hmm.
And when the patriarchy took over, the harmony of Earth is reliant on the cycles of life. The patriarchy take over, he had to interrupt the natural cycles of life in order to hijack the cycles. By putting you beyond the ability of the Earth to use your biology to regenerate your energy on the Earth, it slows down your progress in your energy field enough to allow them to impose their will on your descendants. Basically, it's conjure work.
What you said.
Life's mission. If you're gifted at so much, how can one determine what to focus on? Most people that learn a lot of different things and is gifted to be good at them are normally later in life going to find a way to teach that. That's developing a teacher, a professor. The average person only learns one thing in their lifetime, how to work. The people that's naturally driven to learn with a lot of different subject interests enough to master them. Like, I didn't know I would be as good as I became with remote viewing, forensic profiling, handwriting analysis. I didn't know that stuff was going to ever be of any use to me. I was just studying my enemy, studying me. So while I'm studying my enemy, studying me, I'm developing skill sets that allow me to see stuff that other people don't see, so then I can tell you everything they doing. Right? And this is how the remote viewing ties into the codes that's into the articles in the news. Just like I told people on my Facebook page, everything I post on Facebook not supposed to be true. Some stuff I'm posting because there's codes in it if it ain't true.
Yeah.
Right? But it's certain codes in it and then once you start doing it, it become like an autonomic response. You see a code, you post the post. You share the post because you recognize the code. And I'll say, if you don't know how I teach and how I read code, don't come on my page telling me what to post.
Right?
Right? Because then you're going to make that scorpion stinger come out and I'm going to sting your ass. But that's the reality of it is if you don't know how I teach and you don't know how I read code, you can't tell me that just because something is fundamentally not true or that it's produced using AI, that I can't see a code in there that I need to share it because somebody else is also going to recognize the codes. What is the origin of the dragon in the map below South America, right above Antarctica? That's actually talking about the energy from the Draco star constellation. You gotta remember, Australia is called the Queensland, right? Antarctica is right under Australia on the map, but really, Antarctica is on the top of the Earth next to Australia, right? The Australia design of the continent is the shape of the Ashanti stool of the sacerdotal seat of the Ashanti tribe. Now, my question to myself when I seen this is, why would a whole continent look like a stool of authority from a tribe on the other side of the world? And why are they so similar? But anyway, so when they showing you the dragon on the map, they're showing you the flow of the energy from the Draco constellation as it creeps across the earth. This is your Apophis, the great dragon in Revelations. The dragon waiting at to devour the baby. The mother is Virgo. Virgo is protected by Scorpio. The claws of Scorpio is the balance and scales of the Libra. Right? So it's telling you aspects of the holy drama again. Right? And then as you start seeing that the mythology, because this came through Roman Norse and Greek mythology, when we're talking about the stars, we're telling you who's controlling the narrative. Because the one who controlled the stellar narrative from these systems, the Norse mythology, the Roman mythology was controlled by what we call the dirty Moors.
Right.
The Greek mythology, before they fell to Rome, was controlled by the Egyptians, what we call the righteous Moors. You see? So the navigators is using the same star symbolism to tell ancient stories into the future, because the priesthood is going to always have to learn the language of the stars in order to tell people what's going on the earth.
So speaking of codes, bro, what's your thoughts on Q? Q. I wonder if they're talking about the letter Q or some kind of.
You talking about the QAnons?
Okay.
I fucks with Q heavy, but everybody don't understand how to read Q. Q is military intelligence of the White Hats. They put stuff out in 2017 that they did way back then that they just now telling us that they did. They told us under Q in 2017, but everybody thought Q was a conspiracy theory. But now the mainstream is telling us stuff that Q told us was being done back then is being done now. It's already over with. It already been done. They told you they was going to do it. It wasn't easy. It took longer than they thought. Install the Biden administration to stretch it out. Go back to work. Get it over with. Come out. Take it back. Okay, now roll out the program. Now tell them what's up. So if you know, like, there's some people that been following Q for so long that they can read Q like I read current events, astrology, and tarot cards. They good.
I'm about to look this up, man. I ain't never heard of it.
The QAnon movement. Man, I got posts. I got posts on QAnon.
Spell it for me.
Q-ANON. Also, associated with Q is the number 17.
Alright.
With James, bitch.
I'm gonna look
17.
AI on the QAnon, reading QAnon.
Oh man, QAnon is a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I like rabbit holes now.
Yeah, man, that QAnon, because it's exposed everything already, and now it's going back showing you what they had already exposed was accurate when they exposed it when we thought it was a conspiracy theory.
Huh.
That's where they at in the process. So look at it like this: DC's been running the political theater or political satire theater show under the pretense of presidency, but it was the cover story for the military intelligence to run operations to overthrow the legal fiction masquerading as the government without the people panicking, triggering a civil war that would cause mass casualty events all across the land. While this is going on, this process is continuity of government, because once Obama became president, America officially failed because they put a foreigner in office.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When America fell to a foreign agency, in this case, based on what Barack said, the foreign agency he was beholden to was he had a contract between Kenya and the country of Morocco to take over America. It was a Moorish contract to seize power from the tribes of the land, and that nobody would ever believe that the tribes of the land would realize who they was if they gave us somebody that looked like us as the head of state, as the coup de grace. And this is a program that was written by George Herbert Walker Bush team. He's been working on this since he declared himself King George I of the United States. Right? Once he did that, which you can find that written about in Behold a Pale Horse. But once he did that, that put military intelligence on notice that there's somebody internally attempting to take control or take over the United States from inside. The tripartite system, the legislative, executive, and judicial system, was supposed to be a system of checks and balances to prevent it from happening. But playing the long game, they appointed to the Supreme Court and lesser courts people that was beholden to the agenda and taking the payouts of the Federal Reserve and foreign lobbyists as the way to steer us into a disastrous position of government to make it easier to take over. The internal sentiment of people who disagree based off skin complexion is the tool that they played on in order to create a charismatic cross-cultural phenomenon as a Barack Obama by making him become a rock star president following a jazz president in Bill Clinton. Right? Remember, Clinton played the saxophone. We be forgetting about that. So he was the jazz president. He was also Mr. Snowman, as in the original one who snowed all over Arkansas in the cocaine trade of the CIA. Right? Everybody in Arkansas know he was heavy in the dope game, selling narcotics, cocaine, all throughout Arkansas.
Cocaine?
Making money hand over fist. It's not a secret. Like Arkansas, people in Arkansas know They over there right now. There's a couple people in Arkansas watching this time. Like, yeah, he sure was over there selling that dope. And he had the sheriff bring it, transporting it from him. That's why he ain't never get caught. He had law enforcement and military transporting the dope to him and taking it to where it needed to be. That's why he never got caught. They know the whole pipeline, right? It's not a secret. He got illegitimate children running around Arkansas with melanated women. Your jazz president. Obama is your quintessential, gender neutral, cross-dressing, harmless black male president, pushing the gay agenda. The gay agenda was paid for by some billionaires who just so happen to want the homosexual lifestyle to be the predominant lifestyle, so they can make it legal to have sex with little boys. Sponsored by a group called NAMBLA, North American Man Boy Love Association, and another group called Log Cabin Republicans that also consists of a lot of Democrats. They go into upstate Maine in the log cabins and have sex with kids. We know the whole story. But somebody had to be able to put it all together in order to bring it out in the open, in order for us to get some order across the land. It just so happened that the person that the people it looked like us was most respecting in the 80s and 90s happened to be a guy named Donald J. Trump. And because he did work for us in our community, we figured that, well, maybe he can do some work for us in their community. Put him in office. And 45 was born. Now he's 47, but don't forget he was also 46. But if you don't know game of war and politics, you won't never know that the whole Biden administration was a theatrical performance to conceal a top secret military operation during the transitional government in order for us to take the government back from foreign powers and put it back in the hand of domestic interests. The domestic interests can only be the people organic and original to the land because it all belonged to us in the first place. Everybody else here is just visitors and guests that we welcomed into the land that took advantage of our kindness for a weakness. Now now they finna experience our don't give a fuck because you fucked with us the wrong way energy. So don't come crying and talk about what you think you deserve. Get in line. If your name ain't on the list.
Hey, this is Sparta. After we look back at the Queen said, oh, my mama say get him. Mama say get him. Oh, it's over. You ain't gotta tell me nothing else. Man, my mama tell me to jump on somebody, man, come on, man. You get up though. I'm telling you. Say, look, hey, I got according to what I've been finding out is that Bill Clinton was the illegitimate grandson of Winthrop Rothschild, and that's how, because he was the governor of Arkansas, and then Bill